Okay, hopefully you've got audio now. Press the wrong button. So, yeah, I think so. After a big gap up, we always say, cheers. Boring sideways is a victory, isn't it? After a gap up, it's the US is actually ploughed through its highs. A couple of questions first. I've just asked. Hang on a minute. You can see I'm getting a question. Let me just jump into. Cheers, James. James. After first things first. I'm just in the background. I'm just trying to get a load of this work done so I can concentrate a bit more on the job in hand. So today I've spent all day just trying to find hard drives. Going through finding some data. I know I've got data going back to. Oh, it goes way back, and I managed to find this much today. And I know it's on the house hard drive, but I just thought I'd just dig into the computer secondary drive first. So I found some more, put it in. So basically, what I've just been doing a bit more on this. Jamie helped me yesterday and showed me how to do these, which is I think it's pretty fantastic. It's a game of psychology, this, and people get stuck in this boom or bust cycle, don't they? The market comes in and they feel bad and they look at the P&L and these people, well, aren't we all? But these people are looking for a methodology where you never go through a correct, you never have a drawdown. It's cloud cuckoo land, sort of what a lot of people try to do in the markets. There's going to be corrections. They're not going to feel good. They never will. But with risk management and heat and the things we use, you can decide how hard you get punched. You can decide how bad the correction feels. You can see it in the spreadsheet. It tells you, and this is just another thing, just to by sharing this data, it just gives you a little bit more of that the trouble with this is the trouble with this is it's easy to go, sell here, buy here. Now the buy here bit is, you've got to remember these things can get embedded. So let's just go, let me just jump back. This was the COVID. This is the rally after COVID. It basically jumps from there straight to there, and it's easy to think you should sell everything here, but the longer term trend, what happens in real life is the swing stocks kind of go on this melt, and then they just start to drift. And we've talked about the divergence yesterday. You see it again here, don't you? It goes back to, this is normal, very normal getting corrections. But you can see the divergence where the index trend model goes back to highs, but we don't get anywhere near, and that's where the real bear market started. The early stages of the bear market, the trend model does nail them pretty well, doesn't it? But if you've ever had money running through a secular bull market where you get corrections and then the market goes, it can do this for a long time in a good market. Some people say, "Oh, markets are different these days," but the good thing about having it, just trailing your stop is you get stopped out as stocks, and then you find out later why you should have been stopped out of them. And you know, giving back the tail never feels good. It never will feel good, because as you grow your account, you know, the tail will be bigger in pounds, and it's just the human sort of mind wants to look at things in pounds. That when you're at all-time highs, I've said before in the chat groups, it's on its busiest days when the market's fantastic, and and it's always on the quietest. You know, I can tell who really gets it in the chat group, because they turn up in the bad times, you know, and they know why they're turning up. They're grinding it out because, you know, when you sort of zoom out, you know that, you know, when the market trend models, you go into a correction, the market trend models are really sort of down on in the dumps. Good times will follow again. So you've got to be positive about that. The trouble is, most people in the markets down here, they go and reinvent themselves or try something else, and you know, they're looking for the holy grail. They're looking for a methodology what just compounds money. You know, you know the deal. You know, it's there's so much out there what will makes you think that this you know, holy grail exists, but it doesn't. You have to take some pain. No pain, no gain. It just is what it is. So, you know, this is just don't think of it as market timing so much as just, you know, the psychology down here. If you look at the news, you know, I would say I haven't had the TV on in the office for over a year now, but you know, when I have the TV, I'm watching Cash in the Attic or Homes Under the Hammer. You know, I'm not watching any financial news whatsoever, because it's absolutely meaningless to the job in hand. You know, there's people who write about news, and then there's people who trade, and the two things are very different. Or invest, you know, it's still very different. You know, so yeah, this should help everyone. I'll dig out some more history from it. I kind of know where it is, but I've just got to. I found it easier trolling through my computer than trolling through the hard drive. So I'll dig some more history out on it, and you know, it will just roll forward basically. This will. I've just I did do a scrolling chart, but I just thought it's probably better like this. You know, I put it in 2 year segments, or you know, yeah, 2 year segments basically. So yeah, I think that's a massive improvement there. 1 second. I'm a bit worried that's the door. So that's that. Another question: if anybody used, anyone used a curved screen for the trading software? You know, I was wondering if that would be a. I mean, it would suit me down to the ground, but I don't know if the curved nature of it will be any good for charts. I don't know. You know, does it? I've never used one, you see. So I think what I need in this office, because I have four square screens, I need two of those ultra wide ones on top of each other. And yeah, I'm going to try and get on top of a few jobs basically. Yeah, I've got a list of things I need to do here, and that's probably I'm just getting things ready for when I do move to SharePad. It's about time I spent some money. So yeah, anybody got any ideas on that? Let me know. Next up, I'm just going to go through another one here, a US one, and Micron Technology. I don't know if you remember, there was a pretty nice base on this in the past, but and we got this base here, first pullback. It went on a nice run, didn't it? 100% or more. So for those who do trend follow the US stocks, I mean, this was a screamer, an absolute screamer, and you know, it was at a time where we was pretty loaded. I expect most people were loaded. I was a bit light last year, and I wasn't trading US stocks because, you know, I went into hospital. But I think the last screen grabs I did for someone was just here somewhere around this area, maybe somewhere around here actually. I think it was here. I was kind of looking at this and was going, oh, is it going to, you know, it could do the punch up here. It dipped lower and then up it went, and it built this base. So this is the classic I've missed it scenario. Oh, I've missed it, you know, I could have bought it there, I've missed it. But no, this is what you're looking for. And I mean, look at this. It's an absolute work of art. Absolute, absolute work of art. Riding trend, 52-week highs, comes down into it, clean break. And I'll just, you know, I'll just show you the end of day screen grab for this one because it's got the gas on it. You know, 71% gas, bit lower on the technicals, just because I think it was a case of how long it went sideways for while it was building that base, why the technicals just wound off a bit on it. But yeah, absolutely superb, absolute no-brainer. And what brought this up for me today was just, you know, I can remember it going through the base, and I just listening to I don't know if it was the Animal Spirits podcast or whatever, you know, but just listening to that and just you know, they're talking about this is the one what's propping the S&P up at the moment, and it's like, kind of, who'd have known? Well, because they're talking about the Mag 7, nobody's talking about the stocks what have got gas in the tank and, you know, a really nice setup. And, you know, this has got to the stage where it's one of the, I think, is it the biggest, it's having the largest effect on the S&P being up this year. And this is what it's done over the, you know, the last couple of years. So yeah, so you know, if you're reading about the Mag 7, well, you're missing these, aren't you? That's what, you know, that's why we don't get stuck in that sort of, you know, that news story zone sort of whatever, you know. Same with Nvidia. Same. We, you know, we talked about them. We talked about them as all of them as they emerged. And I mean, this was, you know, this one again. Look at this tightening up here. Lovely base. Out it went. I even posted the, like, the cat peeping up, or the kitten keep peeping its head over the cat sort of meme thing, gif on the Twitter when it was just as it was breaking out. But where did people start talking about it? Up here, you know. They start talking about it, you know, way out of the base. You know, there's no reward to risk up here. And you look at the best stocks, you go, well, I could have bought it anywhere and made money. Well, yeah, you know, if you look at the best stocks in hindsight, yeah, but you know, you get reward to risk at the low risk entry. You know, whatever you want to call this, cup and a handle, you know, base, you know, they're all the same patterns. So I thought that was worth a look today as well, because I think it's going to be a bit quiet. Next up, I'm just going to shut the door. And I will jump through the screens. Got another project tomorrow. Obviously, I'm looking through the markets, and if I see anything, I will run a radar. But there wasn't much what we didn't see last night, this morning. So, pro gaps. Closing highs. In order of sector. Only got 29 tonight. And I'll say it again, you know, if anyone listens to audiobooks, just get that reminiscences of a stock operator and just put it on in the background while you're doing your whatever. It's got so many great lessons in there. I know some people will be past these sort of he puts a story to every great lesson in the market, you know, and though he's, you know, it's kind of, it's not about how he trades so much as the things everyone goes through, and you know, it's just such a good book, and it's a long one as well. You know, it's I remember, I always remember it as a really easy read, but it seems to have quite a lot of hours in it. But yeah, have a listen to it and just soak it in, because it just, I think it lifts you up. It lifts me up anyway. Just makes you feel more confident going forward in the markets. More sort of the way it kind of reinforces you doing, you know, you're doing positive things. This is just closed-end investment trust. Don't know anything about it. We saw it the other week, didn't we? I put the line on it. Really low beta, these things, you know. Let's just have a look what that percent to, you know, that's 15% off that low there. Really low beta. If you get bored riding stock trends, you're going to get uber bored riding that one, aren't you? VLX there, up at highs, trail and add point posted. No crystal ball. Diploma, another day up. I'm not going to draw a baseline on it, because if I do, it'll just pop through it, won't it? So I'll just leave it and see if it bases out. Notice all those Oilers coming in as well. Maybe one keeps going, you know what I mean? Maybe one but as a group, it's another lesson you'll read in that book as well. As a group, AAF obviously we looked at yesterday. And into the swing points. What have we got in here today? I'm thinking what I'll do is, though I've built the index trend model sort of in its own spreadsheet, I'll just copy over the latest, or so much. I'll copy it over to the actual GTRS and update it, you know, in there every so often. That's my idea anyway. Whether hopefully I get around to that. But we'll build a dashboard in there for it, I think. Do I need to? I don't know. Do I need to? VLG, we see that popping up today. I mean, it's up there, this one. I like the low price, but It's got some gas in the tank. You know, I like a stock what's in a nice, but I just don't like the way it trades. That's my issue. It's just a choppy trading stock. But that's a pullback, and I know a few of you like it. But so that's a little update for you there on it. Harbour Energy coming in there. ITH coming in there. Swing point on it, you know, it's like a base retest. It's tough. It's tough for me to buy those though. You got to be, you know, when I do buy Oilers, I'm buying it as a complete punt in a POS stock, or I'm trying to buy ones what are trading towards something of some kind of gas in the tank. HBL's the other one, isn't it? It's the way I like to do it anyway, as I said with gold stocks and all the rest of them. They're ticking up today though, aren't they? There's quite a few ticking up today. Eagle Eye. Let's have a look at that. Crikey. Tapir Holdings. I do not know what that is. It's a new one on me, that. So I think just we had closing highs. Did we? We just had a United Utilities kind of heading towards that sort of swing move. GHH. Let me just punch that in. I say swing move. It's, you know, previous high, but it offered lots of reward to risk. But GHH. I'll punch this one in as well. For anyone who's interested. Small cap, low float. Had its moments. It's a sloth year on year though. Even when it's having its moments, you can see it was like basing out of it for over a year. Made a little move, based out for a year again. You know what I mean? It's a tough gig, that one, isn't it? So sloth. So I think that's everything covered for me today. I'm hitting the wall tonight, but yeah, anybody got any idea on monitors? I just need the trouble. My trouble is I have this. I like the chat group up all day long, so I'm always there. So I like that on one monitor. I like to use another monitor for my spreadsheets, and then I use two monitors for my share scope. So basically I'm trying to go one monitor for the share scope, and I can split one monitor between the other two, couldn't I? If I got some of those ultra wide ones. It's just though it's how high they go, because I'm just looking at my, you know, my monitors, and I'm sort of 36 centimetre. What's that in inches? 14 inch, 360 mil high. So two of those, and the ones I've been looking at have been really tall. So yeah, let me know if you've been through this. I know it's a nightmare when you're trying to get the right thing to fit the job. Okay, cheers all. I will leave it there. Let's see what tomorrow brings. I can find the button. There it is.